Hello everyone. So I thought I'd do this video. I think it's going to help a lot of people out. This applies to all 2007 to 17 LS460 models. The issue that people have is that when you shut the car off and then come back and turn it on again, your HVAC settings, your climate control doesn't turn on for a good 30 seconds. And then when it does turn on, or you manually turn it on, push auto, the temperature is 75 degrees and you lose your settings. So that is not normal. What should happen, immediately when you turn the car on, within 5 seconds, the heater control should turn on with your last saved temperature settings and fan settings and everything else. So the first issue is that sometimes when you change the glove box cabin air filter, you do not put it on recirculate, and then somebody forces the door open and then it breaks the arm for the motor. Well, if that's not the issue, I'll do a second part video for that too over there. But a lot of times people, they don't have issues with the recirculator door, and their climate control defaults to 75 degrees. And this isn't just LS, there's a few other models that this applies to as well. But the problem is these servo motors. There's two here. So the bottom one is the air mix, so A/M servo pulse, and the top one is the air outlet. Now, this diverts air to the rear passengers. Air outlet, this is how much air is going back there. The air mix is the blend of the hot and cold air. Now, there's a lot of these servos on the entire heater assembly, but these two on each side, so there's obviously the same on the other side. These two are the biggest problems. There are more. There's like one down here, and then there's ones where you have to pull the whole dash apart to change. But the majority of the time I've found were problems with these. So what you can do is you need TechStream, and you'll get into the air conditioner settings and then active test right here. Once you get into active test, I'll show you here. You want to scroll down, and then you'll see, so AO servo pulse, AO servo pulse. This is the motor in the trunk for the air purifier and rear AC, these two. These other four here are what we're talking about. So we have air outlet for the F and R is front and rear passenger, front and rear driver. So we have two air outlets and then two air mixers, obviously one on each side. So we're going to start with the servo pulse F front and rear driver, and this is the air mix I was talking about. So here you'll see 0 to 255 is the range. You can see that right there, and then you can click through here, and then the motor should actually move. So let me see here. Let me just pick one that I know is working right now. Air outlet servo pulse. Okay, so 0, we're going to start at 0. Now you see this arm right here. 0 is that position, so if you put in a new servo or whatever, you have to make sure that's kind of where it is. So 0 is there, and then I'm going to scale it all the way to 255, which is the max range, and then you'll see it goes all the way to max. So that's 255, and then 0, if you go back down to 0, it'll go all the way back to the resting position. Now, if all four of your motors do that, your HVAC will probably be fine. It'll start up and retain your settings. If you have one or more of those motors that don't move like that, that is the reason your heater control doesn't save your settings. So I might have to do a second video here, but we'll see if this cuts off. Okay, I guess not. Another thing you can do, you can go to trouble codes and AC, and then you'll see right here. So we have a problem with the passenger side front AC rear airflow. So that'll be in the second part video. We'll take care of that, and I'll show you what the deal is. Solar sensors, those are going to code out if you're not in the sun. So if you put, I'll do it just to illustrate something. If you take like your cell phone flashlight and stick it right on the solar sensor, you'll see this will disappear here in a second. Hopefully, if I get the light on it correctly. Come on. Or if you're outside, these will all disappear. Oh, that one's not turning off. So if it doesn't turn off, you might have a problem with the actual solar sensor. So I have my flashlight right on the solar sensor on the dash, and it's not turning off. So there might actually be a problem with that sensor. Give me 2 seconds. Let me put one on the back. Alrighty. Yeah, so see the rear solar sensor code just disappeared. So I have my flashlight on it. So if the front doesn't turn off, you might actually have a problem with the solar sensor. It's not hooked up or something. So that's that. What else? Let me see here. Active test is where you get to this one thing I was talking about. Air outlet is what we were just doing. Air mix. I don't know why this one's not moving now. I just messed with this one too, and it's not doing anything. Okay, also, there's one more thing I want to show you. In utility here, it says servo motor initialization. So, like it says right here, you can just read that yourself. If any of that is done, you basically hit next, and then it's going to go through the initialization process. You see how that left one is moving and now the right one's moving? It's just basically testing out where the motors are in their movement, making sure it knows the minimum and maximum range. And it basically just, tests everything and figures out where everything is. So if all these are working correctly for you, but like I said, if I don't know what happens if you don't do this after a battery change, like it says, but I don't know. I never had any issues with that. So it just goes through the thing, and then the AC kind of shuts off and then resets. So next part video, I'll do the passenger side, but it looks like we have